back to the book.
Right.
Blessed experiences. Let me go. And I remember this episode.
Yeah.
This is and you sort of we're on even on page 8 here, but it says here venting and then some. And I'm going to read this. It took a while for me to realize that my middle of the night telephone conversation with Bill Clinton was not just an exercise in venting for the former president. He meant what he said about a fight. The next morning, when I turned on the television news, the magnitude of it all began to hit me. The president was making comparisons of Obama's South Carolina victory to that of Jesse Jackson's victory, and to just cut to the chase, he was saying, no big deal.
No big deal.
That's what he was saying.
Yes.
It's no big deal. Now, you then go on to say, yet the comments, and this plays to your whole point about being a Southerner.
Right.
And being black.
Right.
Because that's what I picked up reading between the lines here. That because that's how I took it, that former President Clinton was saying it's no big deal because, right, one, it's South Carolina, and two, it's black folk.
It's a black thing, yeah.
It's a black thing.
Yeah.
You say, whoa, wait a minute. This is not just a black thing.
No.
And
Barack Obama, remember,
go ahead.
Barack Obama came to South Carolina. It was really the fourth contest. The first contest was in Iowa. There ain't a whole lot of black folks in Iowa.
Right.
And he won Iowa. He demonstrated in Iowa that he could get white votes.
Right.
And then he goes to Nevada, he goes to New Hampshire. He comes to South Carolina. This is the big test. Everybody's saying, who wins South Carolina will have a beachhead going into Super Tuesday. Now, the question was, is Barack Obama too black? Or can Barack Obama get black Southern votes? Or will people see this as just a happenstance? Well, he won South Carolina big. But in the process, 27%. He got 27% of the white vote. So my point was, he demonstrated in Iowa that he could get white votes. Then he demonstrated in South Carolina, that he was not too white to get black votes. So I did not want to see this effort. At some point in time, you got to break beyond race. And so I didn't want anything to just confine his victory to a black thing. It had to be more than that. It was more than that. And so I decided to explain why it was more than that. And so I think the rest is history.
Yeah, but let's now talk about this call at midnight, this venting, this president. I mean, it's got to be difficult. Someone as powerful and as popular as President Clinton. Yeah. I mean, he didn't hold back on his anger, I take it.
No, he didn't.
So how do you respond?
Well, I didn't hold back in my response. It was uncomfortable, but, as I said, it was a blessed experience. I didn't feel that way at the time. You had to look back on it. We were talking about it today. This book has become attractive to a lot of people because of this episode, because people get a chance to look in and see exactly who and what I am, and then gives the rest of the book some credibility, I believe. But
that's why it's up front.
That's exactly why it's
up front. Yeah,
exactly
why this chapter is up front.
Right.
Yeah.
After dealing with these two chapters in part one of the book, I then go back. Says, okay, let's look at who this guy is.
Here's who I am, and how I got to, and now
right.
Now we'll go.
Now
you'll
back.
Explain. Okay.
How I got here. And so Bill Clinton and I were good political friends. I think we still are. You have these kinds of episodes. I've been married almost 53 years, come June 24th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You have these kinds of episodes. And he was very emotionally attached to his spouse's campaign.
Sure.
And this was a tremendous, unexpected drubbing. And he was highly disappointed. And I understood that. But by the same token, there was history in the making here. there was conflict. I had my youngest daughter, Angela, was leaving work every day at 5 o'clock, going to the Obama headquarters, in there to midnight at night, go to work the next day, back to that headquarters. I'm looking at my daughter going through all this, and I'm saying, there's no way in the world I'm going to have her wondering whether or not her daddy has lost his mind. I was pleased to stay out of the race. And I said to her, as I said to everybody else, I promised the Democratic National Committee if they were to let South Carolina have this primary, rather than Michigan that wanted it.
Yeah, that's right. Because that was the part of the fight too.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And Alabama tried to get it.
Right.
And they said to me, well, if we consider South Carolina, it would not be worth much if you get overly involved publicly in this campaign. So I promised to stay out, and I stayed out. I'm not going to stay out of voting. I'm going to vote. I didn't make public statements. So when my wife asked me after this, she didn't know what I was going to do.
She didn't know who you were going to vote for.
She didn't know who I was going to vote for. She asked me the morning after, who did you vote for in this primary? And that's when I said to her, I couldn't bear to look in Angela's face, or any of our children and our grandchildren, if I had not voted for Barack Obama.
Did you, and here's a question that is often put to people in one way, and you do address this in your book, and that is, did you vote for President Obama because he was black, or did you vote for President Obama because he was smart?
Well, both.
Okay.
No question about that. I would say that'd be lying to you if I says here was a guy very smart that put together a good campaign, and you could feel that this was different. This was different from Reverend Sharpton. This was different from Reverend
Jesse Jackson, who ran and also won South Carolina.
Absolutely. I said this was, you could tell. I mean, this was a political contest. This was not another crusade. And so it was difficult because you got a conflict with history and loyalty. I had been loyal to the Clinton presidency. I had been loyal to Hillary Clinton. But loyalty was conflicting with history here. And as you know, as Victor Hugo once wrote, there's nothing more powerful in all the world than an idea whose time has come.
Right.
And I looked at this. This was the power of history in the making. And I knew it. I felt it. And I had some other good friends, John Lewis, who came to me on the floor.
Had the same conflict.
That's right.
Had the same conflict.
He had already announced support for Ms. Clinton. And he came to me on the floor. I mean, he was really conflicted.
The floor of the House of Representatives,
yes.
Right.
And he said to me, he says, I am really conflicted here. And we talked about it. And I said, well, John, everything's going to be okay. He said, no. I feel that I'm on the wrong side of history.